The Undeniable Value of Sleep, What the Research Reveals About Deep REM and the Consequences of Sleep Loss, by Dr. Randy Cale. It may seem obvious that sleep is important, but if that were enough, most of us would be sleeping well. Instead, we live in a world that wears sleep deprivation like a badge of honor. And yet, beneath the surface, science screams a warning. When sleep goes, the body and mind quietly begin to fall apart. Despite our modern comforts and knowledge, we are becoming more anxious, more depressed, and more dysregulated. Why? We have everything except consistent, restorative sleep. Let's dig into what the research really says about why that matters so much. Total sleep time, the foundation of mental and physical health. We hear this all the time, just get more sleep. But this isn't vague advice. Total sleep time directly affects nearly every system in the body. Adults require 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, while teens need 8 to 10 hours. When we fall short, the consequences go beyond yawns and grumpiness. A comprehensive meta-analysis published in Nature and Science of Sleep found that sleeping less than 6 hours per night is associated with significantly increased risks for obesity, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and even early mortality. Sleep is not optional maintenance, it's essential regulation. From a psychological standpoint, total sleep deprivation consistently impairs cognitive performance. Attention falters, memory becomes unreliable, and mood, it swings wildly. Multiple studies show that even partial sleep loss leads to decreased emotional regulation and increased irritability, anxiety, and depressive symptoms. A 2021 study in Nature Human Behavior, Goldstein and Walker, further confirmed that one night of sleep deprivation increased next-day anxiety by 30%, correlating with increased amygdala reactivity and diminished prefrontal regulation. Each of these studies is just touching the surface of the full body of research on the problems, short-term and long-term, with compromised sleep. In essence, short sleep means a brain trying to function on fumes, constantly borrowing resources here to try to balance things there, with the delicate system of the brain in an endless, often futile effort to maintain stability. Deep sleep, the brain's housekeeping department. Deep sleep, also known as slow-wave sleep, SWS, dominates the early part of the night and is marked by high-amplitude, low-frequency brain waves. This is the time when the body goes into deep repair mode and when the brain quite literally takes out the trash. A breakthrough 2013 study out of the University of Rochester discovered that during deep sleep, the brain's lymphatic system kicks into high gear. It increases cerebrospinal fluid flow, flushing out toxic waste products like beta amyloid, a protein associated with Alzheimer's disease. Without sufficient deep sleep, these toxins accumulate. It's also the time when growth hormone is released, immune function is restored, and declarative memory, factual learning, is consolidated. More importantly, studies show that insufficient deep sleep leads to emotional instability, increased neuroinflammation, and physical exhaustion. In fact, a 2018 study in JAMA Neurology found that 1 week of restricted deep sleep led to elevated tau protein levels, a key biomarker of Alzheimer's risk. If your child wakes grumpy or you feel mentally foggy despite a full night in bed, poor deep sleep may be to blame. REM sleep, the mind's emotional reset button. In the second half of the night, rapid eye movement, REM sleep, takes over. This stage is when dreams emerge and emotional balance is restored. Dr. Matthew Walker, author of Why We Sleep, calls REM sleep overnight therapy for a reason. During REM, the brain reprocesses emotional experiences and integrates them without the usual stress-related chemical responses. This is critical for emotional resilience. A 2009 study in PNAS showed that depriving people of REM sleep resulted in impaired fear extinction. Essentially, the brain became more reactive to past trauma. Another study from UC Berkeley revealed that one night of poor REM sleep increases amygdala reactivity by 60% with diminished communication from the prefrontal cortex. This explains why we snap, overreact, or spiral after a bad night's sleep. Walker also notes that REM sleep helps unlock abstract thinking and creativity. It is the stage where the brain's associative networks become more fluid and flexible, allowing for improved problem-solving and cognitive innovation. Creativity flourishes in REM. The brain makes novel connections and strengthens procedural memory. Lack of REM doesn't just impair mood, it suffocates our ability to innovate and adapt. long-term consequences, anxiety, mood disorders, and brain decay. Chronic poor sleep isn't just a short-term issue. Longitudinal research shows that persistent sleep deprivation contributes to depression, anxiety disorders, and increased risk for neurodegenerative diseases. A 2014 meta-analysis in Journal of Affective Disorders found that those consistently getting less than 6 hours of sleep were 3 times more likely to develop depression. Another study out of Washington University in 2018 showed that just 1 week of deep sleep restriction led to elevated levels of tau protein, a key marker for Alzheimer's. Sleep fragmentation, frequent awakenings throughout the night, has also been shown to worsen emotional regulation and lead to cumulative cognitive decline, even in individuals achieving similar total sleep hours. What begins as fatigue evolves into emotional fragility, poor decision-making, and eventually structural brain changes. It's a slow, invisible slide toward dysfunction. The takeaway: your sleep is not negotiable. The science is clear. Restorative sleep is the cornerstone of mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Total sleep time matters. Deep sleep detoxifies the brain. REM sleep resets the mind. And when sleep falters, so does almost everything else. If you or your child struggle to fall asleep, stay asleep, or wake feeling unrested, it's not something to ignore. And while lifestyle changes can help, many are finding relief through a research-backed tool called Neurofeedback. How Neurofeedback helps reset the sleep-deprived brain. Neurofeedback is a non-invasive brain training approach that teaches the brain to regulate its own activity patterns more effectively. Studies have shown that neurofeedback can help normalize disrupted sleep architecture, increase time spent in deep and REM sleep, and improve overall sleep quality. For example, research published in Applied Psychophysiology and Biofeedback, 2020, demonstrated that neurofeedback targeting sensorimotor rhythm, SMR, improved sleep onset latency and reduced nighttime awakenings. Another 2011 study in the Journal of Neurotherapy showed significant improvement in sleep quality and daytime functioning for individuals with insomnia after a course of neurofeedback. Such remarkable results are commonplace with neurofeedback, yet the public remains uneducated, in part due to the automatic, almost pre-programmed manner in which we think of a pill as a solution, even when deeper change is required. At Capital District Neurofeedback, we've helped hundreds of clients, children and adults alike, regain restful, restorative sleep. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, ADHD, insomnia, or simply feeling off, a dysregulated brain may be the underlying issue. To learn more or schedule a consultation, visit us at capitaldistrictneurofeedback.com. You deserve better sleep and a better brain.